Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and some data just dropped. It's been going all over social media over the different collectible card games out in the market, showing how they've been done, and it made me think back to this Frodan tweet, this infamous Frodan tweet back in 2020 after they did like a summit for like Hearthstone content creators and that, where he said, still in shock after hearing what's planned for Hearthstone 2020. The developers remain as passionate as ever. They haven't given up on the game, not even close. If they can execute, this will cement Hearthstone for the next decade for new, returning, and veteran players. And I just thought, well, we're over half a decade through since he made this post. The game is still around, and apparently it's still doing pretty well, at least financially. And of course, I mean, I'm still here. A lot of us are still here. Frodan quit after a year. But regardless of that, I wanted to go over just some interesting stuff going around. Again, while we wait for the mini set announcement, hopefully later today, tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription and you want this content to be cemented for the next decade or so, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like as it helps the channel out a lot. Frodan, by the way, huge shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, I would not be where I'm at right now. He was a huge help to me, and he's doing awesome. He does TFT stuff. He does phenomenal with it. So Frodan's a great guy. I just want to put that out there, even if this, you know, this tweet's a giant meme that he has embraced himself. And so far, he might be pretty correct because, yeah, this was posted on the Hearthstone subreddit. It's on Twitter, all over the place. This gaming phone, top CCG games in 2025. And my God, look at Pokemon Pocket. They have made on mobile markets an approximate $670 million. And this just factors in mobile, right? Although I don't think there's like a desktop version of the game. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, it like makes every other game its complete bitch. Like it's just beyond everything. Pokemon is a behemoth. But below that, we have Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, which recently like they rebooted the whole game, right? I believe Shadowverse. I don't know a lot about it. I haven't played it back since Crip did like the sponsorship thing, and I played it when he did it. I liked it. Actually did a sponsorship years later, came full circle. It's a good game. The art style kind of a, I don't know, just ate for me for the most part, but still the game's doing great. I think it's more in the Asia markets and like Japan, I believe it's really big, but on mobile, and again, this doesn't factor in desktop, which I know Shadowverse is on Steam, $68 million. And yeah, Hearthstone in third, $58.7 million. I would also likely factor in Battlegrounds. I don't think Battlegrounds makes them a ton of money, but again, that doesn't factor in Battle.net, right? The Battle.net client, all the transactions, I make the majority of mine through Battle.net, pretty much all of them, and we know I've spent some money on the game, so I think a lot of the revenue isn't captured here, but it kind of gives you a general idea of how the game is compared to, you know, its competitors with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, which is way more, I believe, mobile focused, although it's on Steam, I believe, as well. $41.3 million. Magic the Gathering Arena, $38.6 million. I imagine another one that's a lot more focused on desktop. It didn't have a mobile version for quite some time. The jarring one though, and I mean, I quit it for a long time ago. You can find my old Marvel Snap videos where I couldn't stand their monetization. I thought it was super player unfriendly and it was not sustainable. I felt it was super greedy. They're just trying to get as much money as fast as they can, and then they're gonna get out. That was my theory. They're at 26.8 million, less than half the amount of Hearthstone on mobile, and Snap is way more mobile based than Hearthstone. There is a Steam version, but it launched with a major mobile like focus, and it still is that way. So seeing that number is quite low and jarring. Although they do push a lot of their sales lately. They try to do it on their online web shop, from what I believe. I still follow the game. I'm still hoping that they go back on being absolutely disgustingly greedy and paywalling so many cards. We haven't done that, so I haven't gone back, and it's basically impossible to go back to as a returning player. So yeah, 26.8. When Marvel Snap is barely above a WWE Supercard at 24.1 million, despite ESP single-handedly funding this game. Oh wait, no, that's WWE Champion. Sorry, I got that incorrect. But yeah, to see Snap this low is quite jarring, but it's a pretty good sign, right, for Hearthstone. And considering the majority, of Hearthstone content, I believe, would likely be sold on desktops and all of that. And I did see some talk amongst Marvel Snap creators, especially ones I respect like Dara, like they are struggling. The game is basically dying a death in content creation. I know like Regis's views are half. I check out Marvel Snap on Twitch and it's like 700 viewers. I've seen it at some points less than 100, and this used to typically have like 5 to 10,000 viewers. So content creation, it's gone completely down. It's crazy to see. And yeah, we have Dara saying, reminder, these numbers are mobile only estimates. I've seen these off by 10x actual figures. And if you don't know, Dara actually used to work for Blizzard, used to work on Hearthstone. I believe like monetization stuff, like he knows what he's talking about. And I've known him for a long time, so I always respect what he says. Something like Hearthstone that has a strong non-mobile presence and a separate Chinese app is going to be really underrepresented in this. Wouldn't doubt if Snap is close though. So Dara is saying he thinks Hearthstone's way more than this, and like I kind of agree that Snap is likely quite close to that. We have other creators in here like Savid saying Battlegrounds revenue is probably including these numbers too. It's impossible to know how big of a portion is for the app overall. I draw all conclusions with a grain of salt. Old Guardian App Magic includes the Chinese Hearthstone client in their estimates. Other than that, all the caveats apply, especially desktop clients not being part of the estimates at all. So apparently the Chinese stuff is in there. And yeah, there's a lot of frustration stuff going on. This guy for years used to go after me for crapping on Marvel Snap's monetization. And lately he's been like, oh, you've been kind of right on some stuff. And he said, if anything, Snap is a mobile card game more so than Hearthstone, and it's still getting crushed while Hearthstone is going on its 12th year. These numbers are rough, but not surprising at least. So yeah, I just wanted to mention to you, the Snap people out there, it's bleak for that game. And I don't know, I really loved the game when I played it to start. So I always kind of bring it up every once in a while, but their monetization was just so egregious and still is so egregious that to me, it wasn't sustainable, and it sure does seem that way. But yeah, looking at the numbers, it's pretty crazy for Hearthstone. And it made me look like, how is like this standard player base doing? I was looking at like leaderboards. Like, let's look at last month. We had in the Americas, right? 1,417 legends. If we go back 12, right? 134 or so. Let's go like a year ago, 133, right? Season 22,000. We see some numbers. There's probably some variance too, right? Like we'll go, let's see, 134. We're gonna see 17,000. So standard legend numbers don't seem as like, they seem about the same. There's a bit of variance. Like 144, we got 13,000, 143. Well, maybe it's a bit of a decline this year, honestly, 13,000. And we go like, again, last year, let's go to like 130s at like 20,000, seeing a bit of a dip. Yeah, there was actually a lot more. There does seem to be a decrease in legend players, at least. I'm curious if we take a look at, although there was the Chinese thing, but I don't think that factored in. Let's take a look at EU. So like, this is the current season, it's still going on, but last season, 22,000. And if we go to, let's say again, 134, 12 months ago, that's actually less there. So I don't know how much of a grain of salt you could take this stuff, but numbers seem to be pretty steady for Hearthstone. And when the numbers of like the money coming in, that's a pretty good sign for the game. So clearly Hearthstone, although I will say things have been absolutely dead lately. This is also the quietest time of the year. It's been a struggle as a content creator, hence why I've made like how many videos about the core set, because we really want some new content. So hopefully the mini set will come in. But yeah, if you're worried about the future of Hearthstone and all that, the one thing that ultimately matters at the end of the day for Blizzard or any major company, how much money is the game bringing in? And all signs, at least that we have, it's looking still pretty good, and executives are still getting paid. So the game hopefully continues getting more supported. I don't know, some playable cards. Maybe we'll get that with the next mini set. Anyways, let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.